Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman. Welcome to Illustrate to Educate. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support more simple and objective videos on topics that matter. Have you heard about the new political party called the Forward Party? In this video, we'll look into this newly formed political party's platform, core principles, and more. The Forward Party is a political action committee that seeks to form a new political party in the United States. A political action committee is an organization that pools campaign contributions from members and donates those funds to campaigns for or against candidates, ballot initiatives, or legislation. The Forward Party was founded by former 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang in October 2021. The Forward Party intends to seek recognition from the Federal Election Commission as a political party to achieve its stated goal of providing an alternative to the two major American parties. However, for the time being, candidates affiliated with the organization will remain members of the two major American political parties, including independent candidates. The mission of the Forward Party is to fix the democracy of the United States by bringing together all political parties and welcoming both conservatives and liberals, independents and libertarians who are interested in solving the problems that are facing the country. They believe the system has been broken by the two-party system because it has divided voters into two groups essentially pitted against each other. The Forward Party is building a movement to fix the government and forge a healthy, representative, multi-party democracy that will represent the voice of America. The Forward Party has 6 core principles. The first is ranked choice voting and nonpartisan or open primaries. The Forward Party aims to increase voter representation by implementing ranked choice voting. They believe that this better captures voters' true preferences and enables a more dynamic and a true representative democracy. It solves problems of foreordained elections or votes for non-major party candidates that are seen as a waste. The second principle is fact-based governance. They believe we can do better at establishing standard and shared baselines of where we are and how we are doing to ensure that our elected representatives, whatever their goals may be, are doing their jobs. The third is human-centered capitalism. The Forward Party believes the economy's purpose should be to improve the way of life for its people. Instead of measuring economic health based on GDP or the stock market, they believe we should be measuring quality of life such as life expectancy, average income and affordability, childhood success rates, mental health, among many other things. The fourth principle is effective and modern government. They state that the government is hopelessly bureaucratic and behind the times. They aim to make interactions with the government easy and painless so that the American people can become more optimistic about solving bigger problems. The fifth principle is universal basic income. The majority of Americans are now for universal basic income, and they believe putting money into the people's hands will shore up our economy, create jobs, and improve physical health, mental health, and the ability of children to learn, public trust, optimism, and rates of business formation. The final principle is grace and tolerance. They believe that we take for granted as a nation the freedom to disagree. Because everyone comes from different backgrounds and experiences, they support the ideology of giving the benefit of the doubt to ourselves and each other and avoid engaging in politics of personal attack or destruction. The Forward Party's platform is very extensive. I will only be able to highlight a few of the key elements here. The first is to initialize term limits. The average age of representatives and senators is 57.6 and 62.9 years, respectively, with a significant proportion having served for several decades. With term limits in place, the Forward Party believes that lawmakers would be more motivated to pass successful policy if their time was limited and worry less about fundraising or re-election, as well as refresh the pool of lawmakers who have new ideas. The Forward Party also supports making data as a property right. They state that our data is being sold and resold by corporations and that very few protections exist on the collection of this information. The party proposes creating a digital Bill of Rights that protects this information. This includes the right to be informed about what data is being collected, the right to learn what information a company has on you, and the right to have it deleted, the right to be informed of data breaches and to be compensated for them, among many other things. The Forward Party would like to stop what they call the DC Revolving Door. Between 2009 and 2014, 42% of members of Congress retired from their position to a job as a lobbyist. Another 25% took a job at a company involved in lobbying. almost half of registered lobbyists used to work on the Hill. Government jobs don't pay as well as high-level private sector jobs, which leads to a revolving door between government and industry. Often, the industry will pay a government employee many times their salary after they leave office. This makes it very natural for regulators and lawmakers to go easy on companies that might employ them later. The Forward Party believes that government employees need to be better compensated and need to be prevented from going into lobbying after leaving office to reduce this corruption. Lastly, the Forward Party would like to put into place something called democracy dollars. They believe the problem is that legislation and policy don't reflect the will of the people because the voices of the American people have been drowned out by wealthy donors, corporate lobbyists, and special interest groups. The party's plan is to issue 100 democracy dollars to every registered voter that they could give to any candidate that they can vote for in a given year. If a congressional candidate got just 10,000 people's support, he or she would get $1 million, enough to be competitive. The Forward Party believes this type of public financing would drown out the outsized voices of the wealthy and the special interests and get different candidates who don't have wealthy networks into races. Did you find this video on the Forward Party to be helpful? Please support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing to Illustrate to Educate. If you like this video, be sure to check out some of my other simple and objective videos to the right.